Well, good afternoon, everybody. Ken Johnson here with you, and as promised, we would be doing an update talking about next week's weather. I'm a little bit later getting it done today than I was hoping to do. I've been really busy doing stuff over the last several days. I haven't been super active on social media, but as we have another storm system that's looming and cold air, a lot of interest in it, so we'll be doing more updates throughout the weekend. So let's get right into it, and then we can ramble on after that. Let's talk about what is going on in the world of weather. An Arctic front is on the way, and we'll start by looking at the North American computer model here. I know there's a lot of weather models we look at. There are some inconsistencies with the weather next week in some of our computer models. Most of them do show winter weather into next week, but there's a couple of them that do not show hardly anything at all, and we'll kind of try to break that down for you. First of all, Saturday, here we are tomorrow, looks really nice outside with temperatures into the 60s. Give me a second here to figure out how to make that work. Let's see if, I don't guess that's going to work. So let's just take that off. I'll play with that later on. All right, so if you look, there's a front and kind of off to the north of us here. Tomorrow afternoon's kind of across southern Kansas, down into Oklahoma. If we go out in time, you'll notice that tomorrow night and early on Sunday, there's the front, and you can see the cold air dropping on in. And it looks like our temperatures on Sunday probably stay in the 30s. The problem is it looks like this is going to stay intact into next week. Look at those highs on Monday, not getting out of the 20s according to the NAM model, which is probably a pretty good forecast. I'm forecasting 29 on Monday. If we expand this, I can also show you that in addition to this, we got what's called split flow. You've got one instance where you've got the jet stream to the north that is funneling in some cold air, okay? So you've also got this storm system that is sitting out west that's currently kind of sitting over into right in here. There's our storm system. This is called vorticity, and just a storm system. This is a fancy name for the storm system. And if you look, hey, I got it to work. This is the jet stream supplying us with cold air. That's dropping the cold air down to the south. And it's this storm system out west that's going to throw moisture back into the cold air. Now, this setup is typically favorable for not only cold weather and cloudy weather, but also for precipitation. Because you've got the moisture being supplied, you've got the cold air in place, and that usually means problems. So if we take a look at and continue and kind of show you this, let's go back in. Now the NAM model doesn't go out far enough to really get into the possibilities of precipitation, and I will discuss that. But you can see already though, by Monday, it does throw some what looks like perhaps sleet into the mix on Monday. That looks really light though, sleet or freezing drizzle into the mix Monday into Monday night. You've got a front that's stalled to the south, and with that, you've not only got a front stalled to the south, but you've also, again, you've got this moisture. 4 viewers? You've got to be absolutely kidding me. Only 4 viewers this afternoon? Something is definitely wrong with Facebook. I just don't get it. But anyway, like I was saying before, there's your front kind of stalled to the south. And north of it, and this is where you're getting into your little, it's called isentropic lift, light precipitation over into here. That's very light stuff. All right, so that would be perhaps a little bit of a weak or a very light wintry perhaps weather event Sunday night into Monday and Monday night, and that would produce. I'm baffled by this Facebook stuff, guys. I really am. I've never had a Facebook Live where I only had 4 viewers. You know, I'm really about ready to trash Facebook. I really am. Very, 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 very upsetting. Because I know it's not your fault. It's Facebook and Meta. All right, well, hopefully you'll be able to see the stream recorded later on. People will be able to watch it. All right, let's go to the and I'm not liking the GFS computer model, honestly. Let's look at the Let's look at the ensembles. And I know that this gets a little confusing sometimes, but I'll explain it to you. Basically what the ensembles are doing is they're just showing you, it's showing you a lot of different runs of this particular computer model, and it kind of takes an average of it and comes out with a forecast. You'll see a bunch of different ones, and I like these, and what I'm looking for in this would be some type of consistency, and usually when you start seeing several of these windows showing similar things, you kind of get an idea that that might be what's going to happen. And this is the afternoon runs. And as you can see, Sunday night and a Monday, not much of anything. Then you start seeing ice show up by Monday afternoon over closer to the Arklatex over in Arkansas. But this kind of keeps it just east of us. There's some of the runs in the window there that have some over us too. But a lot of it has it just east of us. So you can see there's a lot of different scenarios. It looks like there's for sure going to be some type of icing in our area. At least in the region early next week, where it kind of remains to be seen. Now here's Tuesday morning, and I'll tell you the European model has at least light sleet or freezing rain over us on Tuesday morning. And you can see there are a couple of the GFS ensembles that show this. A lot of them kind of have it just south and southeast of us, but it's close enough. And then you can see as we get into Tuesday morning that most of them have at least a little something over us, but it does look pretty light. And even the European model looks pretty light. We can go on out. Another slug of moisture begins to head our way Wednesday, but at this point in time, the question will be how much Arctic air, how much cold air is left over. This is several days after the front gets here, so the cold air may be mostly gone by now. In fact, a lot of the ensembles there only have rain over us. And they'll have much in the way of wintry precipitation. That would be, and I can show you what's called the operational run of the GFS, and it has very little over. It has a little bit showing up here, but not much. A little bit there on Tuesday morning, some sleet or light freezing rain, but it doesn't look like much. And from there, you can see it keeps most of the rain away from us. So that's not too much different than what the European computer model is looking like. And if we take a look at that real fast here, we'll zoom in a little closer and I'll show you. And I'm not a huge fan of the resolution on Pivotal Weather. I like I like Pivotal Weather, especially that's the site, especially when you're looking at for severe weather stuff. But I don't like their precipitation mask with the models. It's just not real good. So, but I'll show you anyway. It's the only place I can really show you what the preset type would be. And here we are Sunday. Here we are Monday. And then you can see a little bit of light stuff showing up on Tuesday, either in the form of some sleet or light freezing rain or drizzle, and maybe even a little bit into early on Wednesday morning. But again, the question at that point in time will be how much cold air is even left over. So, but anyway, it's as of right now, what we're looking at, I believe anyway, is mostly it looks like a nuisance type of event as of right now into next week. This doesn't look like a crippling ice storm. It looks like a situation where there could be some icing problems with travel maybe. I could see a scenario where we got some cancellations of school. Probably not a situation where you would delay. Probably a situation where you would cancel altogether, especially if you have icy roads. But it's hard again to say for sure this far. It isn't that far out, and there's not that many differences in the computer models. But again, it mostly looks like light stuff. As we head into next week, I'll show you what the computer models are showing as far as accumulations go. Not much, but you can see how light the GFS is with that. So, again, overall looks pretty light, but it does look cold. It does look nasty next week, and of course, there's always that opportunity for things to change. It's still a ways out there, and there's always that opportunity for things to change. So. Again, I do apologize, people, if you're not getting my Facebook Live. I have 7 viewers. My video cut off at 1 minute. Did the live stop? Nope, I haven't stopped it. So I don't know. I'm using this program called Streamlabs, and that might have something to do with it. I don't know, but I'm very discouraged with this. This should have been a situation where we had a lot of people watching this. Not this. This is ridiculous. I'm baffled by it. Baffled. So I'm probably going to have to rethink some things as far as how I do my Facebook Lives. And I like this platform here. It's nice. It has lots of bells and whistles. It's pretty cool. But like I say, it's just not, for whatever reason, it's just not, it's just not very, it's not getting the information out there. You can see my wife has a sad face there, showing that she's not happy with this, which I agree with her. I'm not happy. I don't like it either, Kelly. You know I don't. And then there's Kyle saying his video cut off at 1 minute, the live stopped. No, it didn't. So apparently, something's going on here with Facebook. I just don't know what it is. Let me see if I can go on my Facebook page and see if I can even see it. And most of the time I wouldn't be that concerned. But again, we're not that far away from severe weather season, and a lot of people depend on this. And when you're not able to get these in the Facebook Lives, I get people asking me out in the public, why aren't you doing Facebook Lives anymore? Well, I do them. It's just they're not being pushed out for whatever reason. So there it is. I can see it on my page, but there's just nobody watching. One time I had a friend of mine that said that what happens is Meta came up with these algorithms, and that's why there's been so much change. And when you're using a platform to stream to multiple channels, and it's impossible to be in the world of a social media. It's hard to post this and then go to another site and post that. It's just easier to do it all at once. So this is called multi-stream on Streamlabs. There's other streaming platforms out there too. But my friend told me, he said, and he knows a lot about this. He said, what happens is the algorithms pick up that this is being multi-streamed. So they cut it off and they don't send out notifications, and they don't populate it. So only a very small fraction of your people get them whenever you're using the platform. Meta really wants you to use your phone and just do it straight up through Facebook. I don't know why they can't I guess it's business, I don't know. But I've even noticed that a lot of my posts don't even get shared or even get much. See, like right here, it cut off again.